I'm not expecting it to do things that an $8,000 canopy can do. Jordan here from Court Coasting. Welcome to another episode of the Canopy Setup Series. This one is less about setting up and more of a review of the canopy I have had on my setup for the last 3 or so years. So it's an aluminium canopy. It has been used for traveling, working, moving things, and everything in between. So it is showing signs of wear. It's 3 years old. It's got all of the usual signs that you'd expect for something of that age. I am just going to sort of explain what I love and what needs replacing, given that it is a sort of cheaper entry-level canopy and it does need maintenance. Now, we'll preface with this, I'm not expecting high quality from these imported flat-packed canopies, and I'm not expecting it to do things that an $8,000 canopy can do. But as a cheap alternative to hit the road and hit the road fast, I think it's a really great option to have in the back of your head. If you are thinking about getting one of these canopies, especially these aluminium flat packed ones, I think there's a couple of things here just to keep in mind, especially if you're going down a second hand route. If you're getting it brand new, well, I guess everything I'm saying, you've probably got a few years before you have to start thinking about changing any of the things in this video. All right, now let's just get straight into it. We're starting with the outside, the paintwork. So visually, it is showing signs of oxidation. It is aluminium, but it still oxidizes and it is coming through the black paintwork. So you can see the ashiness, it kind of looks like, through the black paint. There's nothing sort of structurally wrong with it. It's just more of an aesthetic thing. So over time, especially around the saltwater and coastal environments, it does have its way with aluminium. And this is a sign of maybe a lower quality paint job. As we get a little closer to the canopy, the hinges are there, and these gave me a little bit of grief. So at about the 3-year mark, they all seem to cark it. Now, I'm not expecting high quality. They are cast zinc, so they're not, you know, a notoriously strong metal, but they did all seem to fail at the same time. So that was a little bit difficult because we were on the road at the time, and then all of the hinges started to crack and perish, and it just made getting in and out of the canopy doors a bit of a pain. They're not hard to get parts for. I managed to get some from the guys at Select Lock. They had them there. I think they were $5 or $6 a hinge, and I just got a new set for all of them, and they did all right. So changing the hinges was a pretty straightforward process. You just pull the old ones off, swap the nuts, and you're pretty much good to go. So no complaints there. All right, next up we had the struts. So the gas struts, they went pretty quickly for the back door. So the back rear door, they went probably in the first year, and then I got just a couple from Bunnings and replaced those struts. Once they were done, the struts on the side doors plus the Bunnings struts, they've been fine. So I haven't had any issues with the struts, you know, losing their strength or gas and then not being able to open since I changed the back doors. What hasn't been so lucky, the strut mounting points on one side has actually failed. So I'm only rocking one strut because I can't actually mount the other strut. So that is, I guess, a little bit of a concern, because once that second one goes, I'll have to TIG weld it, and I guess that's starting to border on the I'm not sure if it's worth it side of things. So there are some other gas struts in the canopy where the mounting points have also started to stress fracture. So I think keep that in mind, especially if it's a second hand one. That is something you're looking at, because it could be a sign that you might need to replace that at some point down the track, or need something to fix it up. So you might need a weld. All right, now the last major, I guess, issue that I've found with this canopy is the sealing and the locking. So they're not two small issues, they're pretty major issues. The seals, the pinch weld that goes around the back door plus the other doors, it has all pretty much perished. So what tends to happen is the metal that is within the actual pinch weld itself has all corroded, so it's no longer pinching. So it just sits there and it's pretty floppy. It doesn't really do a whole lot, which means it's no longer sealing that well, and then the dust, water, all that kind of thing starts to get in, which is a bit of a nuisance. But once we get a roll of new pinch weld, we can whack that in there and it's good to go again. Now, the more major issue, major security issue I'd call it, is the locking system. So the locks tend to have this real high degree of flex. So there is that tensioning bolt in there, so you can make the lock a little bit more stiff so that you can have those tighter, snug fits. But what I'm finding is that the actual locking system itself, the actual hinge and bolt, got a high level of flex, and I'm finding that it actually impedes how well it locks. And I mean, it doesn't take too much effort to get into the canopy now while it is locked. So a bit more of a concern there, and it is something that I think will have to be fixed via just getting new locks for it. They are, I guess, the cheaper manufactured locks, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of, I guess, high-end quality with that, but it is something to keep in mind that the locks might need replacing, and check how much flex there is in them, because I'm finding that it is a high amount of flex that basically renders the whole locking system useless. So you don't even need tools to pry it open. You can just grab the back door and lift it, and if you give it enough force, it'll just pop out, and then the whole back door opens. So that is something I would definitely keep in mind, and just check if you're getting it secondhand. If you're getting it brand new, obviously have a look, make sure there's not too much flex in the locks. You'll be able to, give it a break-in test yourself by just jiggling everything. But keep that in mind, because I have found that over the last few years, it's just been getting more and more flexibility in the locks, which then leads to it not even locking. I have done a bit of talking about the flaws and negatives of the canopy, but there are also a bunch of positives from it too. So the structural side of things, I've got the rooftop tent on the roof, plus a bunch of other gear, adds up to about 100 kilos between the canopy and the roof cabin. So there's a fair bit of weight there, and structurally so far it's been okay. So touch wood, it's still holding up, and the actual structure is supporting the weight. So I can't complain about that at all. From a readiness and availability point of view, I think it's a great option, because you can just buy a canopy. It's virtually shipped to you, or for me it was shipped straight to my door, put it together, and within a day I made the decision, and by the end of the week I had a canopy on my car that was ready to go and ready for touring. So from a readily available kind of point of view, plus a budget friendly point of view, I think it's a great entry point into hitting the road and being able to travel with your ute. Now, from a security point of view, the other thing I want to mention is I probably wouldn't just rely on the locking system alone. If someone is persistent enough, they probably will get in. I've had it broken into twice. Luckily, there was nothing in there, so once they had a look, they left it. But I think keeping a secondary form of deterrent, like a horn system or sirens, just something that makes a lot of noise, that's a great way to sort of prevent anything from actually happening, because once they start trying to muck around with it, I think if someone's persistent enough, they will get in. But once you can alert people or yourself or whoever is around with a nice loud siren, I think that's a great way to prevent anything from actually being taken out. Other than that, do the positives outweigh the negatives? I think so. I think if you get a good year or two out of it and then need to do some maintenance to something that's under 3K, I think that's a pretty good deal, and I think it's something I'd be willing to do if I didn't want to spend 8K on a canopy for my ute. That pretty much wraps us up for the canopy review. I hope that helps with some of the decision making for your canopy purchasing. And if you've got any other questions, just let me know. I'm always happy to answer. Good luck with the setup, and I will catch you out there.